Hello, welcome to Monster Train. I am, I guess I'm calling myself Professor Mayhem. um, and I'm gonna show you today why Monster Train is one of my favorite games. I have over 1,000 hours in it, and yeah, I would call my interest in this game pathological. So I'm going to kind of show you how the game works in case you're not familiar with it, and then I'm going to do a run of this game and hopefully pull out a win so that you can see my strategy, and I'm going to kind of talk through my strategy as we do that. So let's talk about how this game works. So Monster Train is a roguelike deck builder. If you've seen Slay the Spire, it kind of works on that sort of idea. You have a deck of cards that you're drawing through that do various things. Some of them give you creatures. In this game, they're called units, and then some of them are spells, and they do various things. So I'm gonna show you how this works. So we're just going to do a standard run, and I do have the Last Divinity DLC thing on. So I was going to do this without the DLC for this, but then after some practice runs, I realized that I had played the DLC so much that I'm sort of no longer good at it without the DLC, at least at the highest difficulty level, which I'm going to be doing today. So let's start a new run. So as I said, this is a roguelike deck builder. Roguelike just means that death is permanent, and so these games are short in comparison to kind of traditional video games. So a run, if I'm just blazing through it, might take 45 minutes to an hour or something like that. This one will be longer than that probably, because I'm going to be kind of talking through my decisions and showing you how the game works and so forth. For those who are not familiar. In future recordings, I will simply just play and talk through my decisions, of course, without telling you how the game works, because I will assume you already know how it works. So today we are starting off with the clan combo that they start you off with in the beginning. These other ones get unlocked after various playthroughs. I have played it many times, and I've unlocked everything in the game. So we're going to be later. I'm going to be playing with some of the other clan combos, but today we're playing with the classic one, which is Hellhorned and Awoken. So if you notice this, so there are many different so-called champions. This will be the character that will be in your starting deck. You also get a starting card associated with that. For Hornbreaker Prince, we're going to have torches. They're little ping damage spells. Each clan, so our second clan, you don't get the champion, you just get the starting cards. In this case, we have Restore, the basic healing regen card from Awoken. But each clan, has different ones associated with them, so they do various things. So you'll have those in your starting deck. And so that's how that works. We are doing the highest difficulty level, which each one imposes various things that make the game more difficult. As I said, we are going for the Last Divinity, which it's basically an extra level at the end of the game, and some other extra things, which I'll point out as we go on. So let's start. Okay. So here you'll see that the final boss, the final boss before the final boss is Seraph the Patient. We can see what his ability will be. You don't have to really worry about that right now. I will make my decisions based on that, but it's just something to know. At rings 3, 6, and 9, you get these bosses at the end of the match, which are floating bosses. I'll show you how those work when we get there. Looks like we have some starting cards here that will help us out. Part of being at the higher difficulty level, you have all these different things, like I said. So we have some curses in our deck. The middle floor will have one less space, and those are kind of some of the most notable ones that will affect our decisions. Here we have Imp in a Box. It's a card that has Consume. Consume means that you only play this card once, and then it goes in your in the equivalent of your trash or your graveyard, and so you don't get to play it again unless something interesting, some particular card brings it back. This one will give us 2 imps. Imp units are really helpful. They're tiny little creatures that do something when they're summoned and get killed very easily. You can also often use them as little chump blockers to protect your important units from getting killed. And lots of times they have powerful scaling abilities. So some of them give your units rage, some of them give you damage, but you'll see how those work later on. And there's a lot of other things that kind of interact with imps. Spikes. So when a character has spikes, it will basically, when an enemy unit attacks it, it will take that much damage. So if I have 4 spikes on my champion and a unit attacks it, it'll take 4 damage and possibly die if it's a smaller kind of backline creature. And here we have a semi-useful spell that will possibly do something for us, possibly not. Generally, these are kind of good in the early game. It quickly falls off. I find maybe after ring 3 or so, this kind of stops being useful without some upgrades. This Sharpen may be good for us in the early game. So we'll see how that works out depending on what upgrades we get for our champion, which we'll see in just a moment. So you'll see these are the various levels we go through. In between each level, you'll get different options for shops and upgrades and other things like that. You'll also notice there are these purple things in the middle. These will give you very good upgrades, usually. Sometimes they're misses, of course, but they'll give you upgrades, and you'll see that this one here, we have one right away. It will give us this, you'll see it says gain an artifact and gain 15 shards. That symbol means shards. This here is my shard count. These are pack shards. This increases the threat level of the battle you're about to have. Makes it more difficult in various ways. Makes the enemy units stronger in various ways. The thing is, you have to have 100 by the end in order to face the last divinity final boss at the end here. If you don't do that, and you lose. At least in this mode, anyway. So these can be very good, but you can't be too greedy with them too early because you will get crushed. So, anyway. So here we have the upgrade to our champion, which I'll click on in a moment. But first I want to click on the artifact. Generally I like to click on the artifact first because it helps me decide which upgrade I want to take to our champion. there's an upgrade I'm hoping for related to the spikes, which we'll see if we get it or not. So let's see what artifacts we do here. Okay, so this is spikes, deal +1 damage per stack. So this interacts with our sharpen here. That may help, it may not. Generally, this is one I don't take that often. It could be good here, I don't know. The thing about spikes here is that it will help us early, but it may not be part of our long-term strategy. So I'm ambivalent about that. The other option here is Winged Steel. Winged Steel is pretty good. It's an extra draw per turn, which is really valuable. So yeah, oh, I didn't talk about the costs. So this number here in the corner is the cost of these cards. And that's how much energy it costs. So you start with, at the beginning of the game, you have 3 energy to spend each turn. And these ones that cost X, it spends the rest of your energy and multiplies that effect times that number. So that's how that works. Now, what Winged Steel does is, if I play 3 cards, on the 3rd card I'll draw an extra one. That's pretty good. It's not great in the beginning, but it will provide lots of value to us as the game goes on. The other option is just taking 25 gold to skip. You'll see I start with 50 gold here, and that could help, but I think I want the Winged Steel. It's going to be valuable for us later in the late game. This is our health. As we, you'll see in the first battle how this works. We want this to not get down to 0. If it gets down to 0, we lose. So that's a bad thing. But this will make more sense when I play the first battle and I explain everything. So let's check out what upgrade we get. So we do find Wrathful. That's the one I was hoping for. So Hornbreaker Prince has this neat ability when you have Wrathful, where if he kills an enemy unit, he gets 10 armor. That's a kind of a secondary extra HP that gets added on. So he gets a sort of defensive scaling. And whenever he gets hit by an enemy, he gains Rage 2. For each Rage, so the way that Rage works is, for each stack of Rage your unit has, it will get +2 attack. This is their attack number. This is the defense number. So what's going to happen is, if I'm going to put spikes on him, hopefully, if we draw that card that sharpens soon enough, we're going to get a situation where the backliners will hit him, the backline enemies will hit him, and die to the spikes, and each time that happens, he'll lose a little bit of HP, but he'll also gain 10 armor. So that is really good. Plus, as he's getting hit, he's scaling up. Reaper is a poor upgrade line. We'll see 3 of these, so this being the first one, we'll see 2 others by the end, and these upgrades get better and better. You have your choice of 2. You can only, like, you can't get one of each of the 3 options. Each champion has, I'll show you in the logbook here, 3 options. Where's our champions? Here's the upgrade. Here we go. Here's the upgrade line. So these are the 3 possibilities for what these end up as. I'll show you. So Wrathfuls. The first one eventually becomes this if you upgrade that line, and you see the levels here. So anyway, that's how that works. So we're going to take Wrathful. This is just bad. These HP numbers are just bad. He just dies very quickly. I just don't know why you would take this. There's just very few reasons. So we're going to go with Wrathful, like I said. Here's the question: do I feel strong enough to take this extra artifact? I think so. I think so. Let's see what this is. Oh, we get... These are some good ones. So sting spells cost plus 20 magic power, or get plus 20 magic power. That makes... Sting spells are these little damage spells that help you out. They're associated with the Awoken clan. We don't have anything related to that, and I don't think we're going to take anything related to that. We could, but later on, there's no guarantee. And it's really not a great payoff, even if it works out, so I don't think we're going to take this. Rage does not decay, so part of the way Rage works is that, like I said, each stack of Rage gives you plus 2 attack power per stat, and then it ticks down from there. So this would cause it not to tick down. Could be useful. And then when played, your champion gains plus 50% max health. So I'm considering one of these two. So that would give us, I think, 7 health is the way this works. I think we want this. I think this helps us quite a bit, at least in the early game. Then we can perhaps get stronger from there. So let's check out the first battle. Oh, I just blazed through that and didn't save. So I took a trial, so I'm going to get an extra 75 gold in exchange for adding this. So at the start of battle, units appear on each floor. This adds an element of danger, but you do get more rewards. But I think we're pretty strong, especially if we end up drawing this sharp into turn 1. The gold you can, spend at shops, get upgrades, that kind of thing. So that's why I took it. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so what's going to happen is, you always draw your champion card turn 1. You also have these junky train steward things. These are bad units, but it's like you need something early game. So they're just kind of bad generic units that don't do much for you, but we need them now because we don't really have much else. So you'll see these enemies have rage. And what's going to happen is, so I'm going to play this. This guy gets Ember Drain, so next turn I'll have 1 less Ember to spend. This does the math for you with how much HP and what's going to die. That red X means that guy's going to die. So each turn, the combat happens, and then all the units go up 1. When these units, if I don't kill them by the end of this turn, they will go up here and start hitting the pyre, and the pyre will hit them back. We need this pyre to survive. Like I said, you'll lose if this number goes down to 0. We're trying to get this train to the 9th ring of Hell so it can reignite Hell, which has frozen over. This is the last remaining ember of Hell, basically, that will reignite. And these are sort of divine priest angel thingies which are trying to stop you from doing that. So anyway, that's how that works. And then, like I said, the pyre will hit them for 20 each turn. Usually that kills them. So this is what the first turn looks like. I'm going to put this guy here. So now you can see we're killing 2 of them. This guy will go up. His rage will tick down. We'll take 3 damage here. No big deal. The pyre, though it doesn't say it, has sweep. So it will hit every enemy. Normally, your guys just hit the front one. So that's how that works. I'm going to play this Restore, which will give us regen. Each turn, your regen number, that'll restore this guy's health a little bit, which is nice, and then it will tick down. We may or may not continue using Restore and Regen depending on what units we see, because it sort of competes with armor, because the Restore doesn't restore your armor, it only restores HP. that kind of stuff. So let's see what happens. First one, so it goes up. Let me slow this down a little bit, so at least for a little bit, so you can see this turn here. So we took 3 damage. That's not too bad. I would like to not take any damage, but these guys only hit for 2. And here's something that is interesting. We have the collector here. This is a sort of a neutral unit that doesn't attack, that shows up on every combat, and he will give you, or she, I'm not sure, will give you, they will give you a little extra gold if you're able to kill it. But if you don't, by the end of the turn that it shows up, it will leave, and you miss that opportunity, unless you daze it, root it, do certain things to it. So we're going to take that, do 2 damage to everything, get that 50 gold. Really, in exchange for 2 damage, I could have killed all these guys and not taken that damage, but I think that 50 gold is pretty valuable early here. Oh wow, this is really slow. So you can see. So normally I play this on super high speed, but I just wanted to see how it works. All right, so we're not able to get that sharpen on right away, but we do get it. So this guy I'm a little, well, not that worried about because we have our spikes now. So he'll hit and die, and then on Hornbreaker Prince we'll gain some armor. And if you notice, when the enemies hit, it takes the number off the armor first, before the HP. So that's why I'm saying it competes with the regen strategy. Okay, so let's do that. Here we have the boss of this stage. Part of this shard count is that he gains this ability, Lifesteal. It's Lifesteal 6, which makes him a little bit harder. And this guy's a little bit bigger, so that's what's going on with those shards. Alright, so let's see what imps we get. Okay. So this Molting Imp will deal 5 damage to everything on the floor. And I think we want to play this here. I don't want to play it here because I actually want this guy to hit him so that he dies to the spikes. And I'm not going to play this vent for that same reason. So, and this guy, we can't kill him, unfortunately. So he will go up to the pyre. These guys heal the other guys. That's what they do. That's what that number means. But he has this extinguish ability. He'll deal 5 damage to the front unit when he dies. So when he marches up to the pyre here, he'll do 5 damage to the pyre. So, ow, I didn't do that. We'll still survive. See how this works. So this guy just gave me a curse. This curses will hurt you, and they're useless cards. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, so this is space. You can only fit a certain number of units on the floor, so we can fit 5 space worth of units. So you can see the Train Steward is 2 space, our Hornbreaker Prince is 2 space. Most units are 2 space. Imps and other smaller things like that are 1 space, and then there are some bigger things that have more space as a kind of a drawback to how good they are. So of course, Claymore Restores, our Wing Steel drew us that card. So what's going to happen is this guy's going to march up, and we don't get some curse as usual. You notice this combat doesn't end until all the units on one side are dead. Hopefully, if we're playing the game well, it will be him. So let's get rid of that, so we don't get hurt by that. Those don't stay in your deck, by the way. They have Purge. Purge means you play them once and they leave your deck forever, whereas when you play the Consume ones, you just don't play that. You're not able to play it again for the rest of the combat. The rest of them just go in your discard pile and are redrawn when we get to the end of our draw pile. That's just a primer for deck builders if you're not familiar with how that works. So we have one more space. Just for the hell of it, I'm going to put Queen Zimpling there. He'll deal 10 damage. And we have these dead weights. These are just useless cards that are in our deck, junking things up as part of the high difficulty level that we're at. Alright, I'm going to stop explaining so much, and I'm just going to play a little more. So you can see this enters Relentless, and bosses have Relentless. And we won that battle by killing the boss. Relentless means, yeah, they go until they die. And then if they kill your guys, they will go up to the pyre and really, really murder your pyre. So you really don't want that to happen. Okay, so we take our 50 gold, we took our 75 gold because we took that trial. And then we have a clan pack. We get our choice of these 3 common cards here. Hidden Passage can manipulate where things are on the floor. We get another Vent. I don't think I'm going to take that. I already have 2 of them, and they're not great later, like I said, anyway. Fledgling Imp is a great scaling plan for later. He will add 5 rage to all friendly units on the floor. This is really useful. We need to get our scaling going. We need to increase our attack on our units. So I think we're going to take this. We could skip and take 10 gold, but I think this will be a formative card to our strategy, so I'm going to take it. Now we get our Awoken clan pack. Do we want one of these? So Vine Grasp can manipulate things on the floor. Can move you can even play this on your own guys, your own units, to manipulate who's in front, depending on who you want to attack. You can also play on the enemies. Glimmer is pretty good in general. It does 2 damage to everything for 1 energy. It's pretty good. Steel Enhancer sometimes is helpful. Do I think it's going to be helpful here? Maybe not. We already have our scaling plan. But it could be, if they're depending on what units we see. So if we see in the Awoken units, we get that Steel Enhancer, give this +3, +3. This dude starts slapping. Animus of Will, that's pretty good. Because he hits 3 times. We see Hellhorned. What interacts with this? This guy is helped by it. But you know, I think our Rage, our Fledgling Imp plan is good enough. I don't think we need this. It doesn't do enough. So I'm gonna take Glimmer as a, well, I don't know. I think we want Vine Grasp, actually. Vine Grasp does something that we can't do yet. We can kill backliners a little bit with these vents and with our Sharpen, whereas Vine Grasp pulls things, and we can't do that yet without it. Alright, so we have our choice of going one of 2 ways. Merchant of Steel, we can see some upgrades to our units. Here we get a Hellhorned banner where we can find a Hellhorned unit. If we go this way, we can upgrade a spell and take some money. And either way, we get this Divine Temple, the option of the Divine Temple. Well, we need an early unit, so I'm going this way. Later on, we might see something good here. Hopefully. Okay. Let's see. Alright, there's multi-strike in the shop. This is one of the best upgrades, depending on what unit we see. Each of these shops, this is like the rare, most expensive upgrade. These are the two easier to find and less expensive upgrades. Here you can re-roll it one time for 60 gold. Here you can purge a card, remove a card from your deck forever. We're probably gonna, if we have enough money, do that with the Train Steward. These guys suck. Let's see what unit we get. Oh, okay. So, Alpha Fiend. Alpha Fiend is good, but if you notice that he's more energy, more space. But if we take that multi-strike, every time he strikes he gets +5, which is fantastic. The problem is, then we can't, if we put him and our Hornbreaker Prince on the floor, currently we have 5 space on the floor, we can't play this Fledgling Imp on that floor. So I'm not sure about that. This is generally not very good, but this guy is kind of not very good either. We're not really showing something great here, but this guy is 2 space, and if we take him, we can still play our imp on the floor. So that's nice. I think I'm going to take him for that reason. You also want to consider the essences. Each of these guys later on will have the option to infuse him on one of these guys on another unit, and they gain these abilities. So that's what that is. For now, I'm going to take the Brand Warrior. And, oh, we want to look at what is in here. Okay, so intrinsic, I can make sure, oh, this is quite good actually. I think we want to take this, especially since we don't have a good unit to infuse. So this, like I said, infusion here, if I were to sacrifice him and put him onto a Train Steward, the Train Steward can gain that ability. So we're not going to do that. That's not good. But what we can do is we can make Sharpen cost 2 less. And we can make it intrinsic, which means we are guaranteed to draw it on the first turn. We're going up some pack shards here. I'm not sure this is a great idea, but I'm going to try it. I think this is quite good for early game. We just really don't want to die. So I'm probably not going to take the trial in the next one. Probably. But this really makes us stronger for these next couple of fights here. So we are going to take this. This is great. I kind of want him to have a little more health. He only has 5 health, but behind Hornbreaker Prince, he doesn't get hit that much. The problem is if we see a boss or an enemy that has sweep, he will get hit. Sweep attacks hit everything on the floor. We're not sure if we'll see that. I guess, am I confident that if that happens, that Hornbreaker Prince can save the day? I'm not sure. The other option is re-roll for 60 gold, and then hope to find Endless. We really want Endless on this hit, because then we can play him over and over and he dies, and then we get him the next turn, and then we can play him again, so we can keep getting range. We won't have enough gold, though, is the problem, even if we do see that Endless there. So, I'm going to take this +1.5. I think it's important for our survivability. And, I really want to make my deck better while I have the chance, so that we increase our chances of survival, since this is going to be a tougher fight, since we took these upgrades on the Sharpen and raised it to 40 pack shards, which is high for only the second ring. I think it's probably going to be worth it though. But yeah, let's purge a Drain Steward. Get out of here, you douche. And let's go to the next ring. Alright, this trial, we really don't want this. Armor 10. All the enemies would get 10 armor and then not die to our spikes, which is an important part of our plan. So we're not going to take that. The reward would be another unit, which is valuable, but I think this would kill us if we took this. So I'm not going to click that. And just as I suspected, we do get the sweep boss. So it's a good thing I took that extra 25 health into our branded warrior. This gives him a few more swings when we get too relentless with that boss. So good job me for predicting that. If you notice, part of the difficulty is that this middle floor capacity is less. The rest of them have 5. Alright, do we play bottom floor? I don't think so. I think we want to scale up and hopefully see our other spikes. So this guy dies on the first hit. This 5 HP. We are going to kill this guy. That removes the spikes. That guy had to get special. Let's put on the rest here. We see our Rage Imp right away. I think we're going to save that for later. That's pointless to play that. Alright. See the Collector. Kill him. Ooh, but that's a bad idea. Because we don't get that extra spikes, so we'll get hit twice by him. I don't know, I think it's probably good. I think he'd still survive. Let's see what happens here. Okay, yeah. If we don't die here, he doesn't walk up. I'm going to leave this guy in so that he hits my Hornbreaker Prince and dies to the spikes. But we are going to work on this guy a little bit. Actually, I should have killed that guy. Yeah, good. Now he doesn't walk up. Let's see what we get with Imp in a box. Ooh, we get a Pyre Chomper. Pyre Chompers give us extra. I don't want to do that because, again, I want this guy to hit our Hornbreaker Prince so that he dies right into the spikes. He gets me some armor. Get these Drain Stewards played so we don't redraw them later. These guys have Spell Shield, by the way. That means that for each Spell Shield, they're unaffected by a damage spell. We're going to throw that on there, and we absolutely smash this boss. Scaling plan worked. And we see another Fledgling Imp. We also see Hornbreak, which is pretty good because it's a ping that it does more damage than Torch. 10 as opposed to 2. And if we upgrade it, it hits twice. So if we give the plus 10 upgrade here, it would do 15 and 15. And it has Piercing, which means it goes through Spell Shield, goes through Damage Shield, goes through Armor. But do we want the second Imp and take the Infusion, make him doubly good? I don't know. I think this is maybe more valuable. Because if we give Endless this imp, can maybe kill him. Although, I don't know. I'll probably die to the attacking units, though, huh? I think we want another one of these guys. I don't think we want another Sharpen. It's too expensive. And we already have 2. And we really only want the first one. This will probably even get removed later, because it'll start to be a not very good card as the enemies get harder. Restoration Detonation will heal and then damage the front unit. I don't think healing is going to be a big part of our plan. We've got a rage plan happening here, especially with Branded Warrior. Every time he kills someone, he gives 3 rage to every unit on the floor, including himself. I think we skip this. I don't think we want these. This will just make our deck more cumbersome. We want the density of the cards that we want to see to be high as possible. So we skip. Take the 10 gold. Alright, we have our choice of going this way or this way. This gives us a duplication. Do we have cards we want to duplicate? I mean, I guess we could duplicate this Sharpen. Give our Hornbreaker Prince a ton of spikes immediately. If this didn't cost 0 right now, I would certainly not consider that. The problem is if we dupe that, that drives up our shard count, and I think we're already pretty high for where we're at. Is there something else I would duplicate? Maybe Imp in a Box? Maybe Fledgling Imp? Probably not Fledgling Imp, actually. And probably not Imp in a Box. I don't think we want that dupe. There's nothing good to dupe. We don't want another Branded Warrior right now, because it doesn't really do anything for us. We don't want to have a multiple floor strategy happening, and we can't fit a second one on the floor that we're going to be using. So I don't think we go this way. I guess, do we want that Awoken banner is the question. Maybe. The thing is, we don't get to infuse here. We would get an artifact if we took that. I don't think we're going to take this. Again, the shard count's too high. I think we're going to go this way. There's a number of good Hellhorned units that we could see, although Hellhorned does have a handful of garbage units that we would probably skip, more so than Awoken. But if we see a Steel Worker, that's pretty good. Let's see what we get. Okay, this is interesting. Conscription Notice. Summons basically a random unit. Gives it plus 10. So this could be from any clan. Gives it -1 space. So it's a smaller version of whatever random unit they show you on the first turn when you summon your champion. Or we could just take +3 magic power. That makes all of our torches and all of our restores better. So what magic power does is it gives +3 damage or healing to a damage or healing card. So with Vent, if I played this at 0 cost, it would do 3 damage to the whole enemy floor. I think that's pretty good. It's not like fantastic, but it's something. It's probably worth more than the 25 gold. And we don't see a shop this floor, so it's not like we need the gold right now. So let me take it. All right, let's see what. Okay, then this cavern event is something that will maybe give us we'll see all kinds of random stuff in here, and we'll click on that in a minute, but I wanted to see this unit first, see what we get. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This guy costs 4. We can't even play him. He has pretty good attack and pretty good HP, but we can't play him, and he takes up 3 space. Later on, this could be good, I suppose. The other possibility is taking him for the essence. He gives plus 30 attack and HP, and as a drawback gives the unit plus 1 space. Not great. We're probably not going to do that. We kind of need our branded warrior to be able to sit on the floor. This guy is fantastic, especially if we see a particular card called Apex Imp. This guy will give armor 5 to friendly units every single turn. We want that. It's a good infusion later, possibly, and you know, we can't put him on our floor now, but that's okay. We just throw him away later. See what we get in this cavern today. Ooh, this is nice. This could allow us to actually put him on the floor. So this can add space to the floor and deal 9 damage to enemy units twice. This is a great card. But if I don't take it, it gives this additional upgrade, which makes our guy be smaller, so we can duplicate him later and put an additional one on the floor. I gotta take that. Plus, then we are able to fit all 3 of these units on the floor if we want, instead of putting imps. I'm gonna take that. I'm for sure taking that. Look at this. It's great. Give me that. Especially if we can infuse this guy onto him, then dupe, then we're getting 5 times however many of this guy we have on the floor, armor to everyone. That's great. I'm not clicking this. Shard count is too high. Here we go. Alright, I took the trial without thinking. No, I didn't. There's no trial on this. Okay. How do we approach this here? So this guy will spawn. So this is one of the floating bosses that I said. So he'll go around to various floors and do bad things. He puts this bomb on the floor, deal 10 damage to the front unit no matter what. So this is going to be a little tough. I think we can start here, actually. I think we can start bottom. We're not afraid of these guys since we drew spikes, or we have spikes right away. Hell yeah. Look at this. He's great. We don't get to play our imp, but that's okay. These guys just scale like crazy. It's awesome. Without any help. That'll start to not be great late game, but it's quite good now. We can gain a little bit of strength now. Play these trains well, or do I want to do this? I think we want to do that actually. It's a little more speed. I'm going to speed this up. I think you guys get how this works now. Okay, so thanks to our +3 magic power, we get to kill that guy and avoid that 10 damage. And the boss. And these guys. We are cruising right now. Again, this might fall off later. You have to be wary of the late game. But for now, we're doing pretty good. Look at this. 117. It's astonishingly good attack power right now. Okay. Let's see how this does when we roll this. I mean, we crush him. He only has this much HP. Let's crush him. Okay. This is pretty good. Spike of the Hellhorned is pretty good. This guy, no. He just doesn't do enough. We do have the spikes, but it's not like a huge part of our plan. Late game anyway. I think this combo here, that's our plan. So we're not taking that. Spike of the Hellhorned helps. Not a great card, not a fantastic card. Channel Song could be good. If we can put Intrinsic on it, get some of those shenanigans going. I don't think so though. It's just not. It's not important enough, and for now it'll just grab Train Stewards and Imps, and it's not very good. I think we're going to take Spike of the Hellhorned. Okay, we see the Animus of Will. We see a sweep unit, which could be good. So what's our floor going to look like? I think we're going to take space for our rare artifact that we're about to get, so that we can... Well, we don't get this infusion until later. We don't get the infusion until here. Are these good enough to make our deck a little more junkier for now, in exchange for a little more power later? I don't know. I think we're good with this. I don't think we need these guys. I think that we're going to infuse the Steelworker onto the Branded Warrior, dupe the hell out of him, and then we can still fit him on the floor. I think that's the plan. The sweep is good, but yeah, we just don't have, we won't have room for him on the floor, unfortunately. So we skip. And so here we have the option for more energy each turn, more draw each turn, or more space each turn. And like I said, I think we want more space. Space becomes very, very valuable the more of these we can do. So, taking the space. That also bumps us up some HP and Papyr as well. Alright. Which way do we want to go? Do we want to look for upgrades for our units? This guy's maxed out already. In fact, he's overflowed. This guy we don't want to invest too heavily in. So each unit, you can only put 2 upgrades on him, and then with some of those events, you can force an additional one. So he's maxed out, so there's no value in that. The other upgrade we'd be interested in is making the Fledgling Imp endless. There's no guarantee we'll see that. And then this guy, we're just going to infuse. So like I said, we don't want to invest too heavily on him, because he's just going to go into this guy and be an armor, gives that armor. And in general, really, that's not a unit that wants a ton of upgrades necessarily anyway, so I don't think we're interested in going this way. And we don't, this unit, like I explained, doesn't do a lot for us because we probably won't take him. So we're going to go this way, look for some spell upgrades, look for and remove some Train Stewards. So we get some help. Do we want this money? I don't know. Let's see what's in the shop. Permafrost. Permafrost will cause you to not discard certain cards at the end of the turn. That doesn't do much for us. I don't think we need that. It's expensive. I do want to make something cost 1 less. Torch. maybe not. Maybe this isn't even that valuable. And this is probably okay. Let's see what else we get. Remove consume. Do we want to play these over and over? Probably not. I think we chill and save our money. Do we want to put a second? -1 cost into this? Make it a little better? Maybe. Yeah, remove some train stewards and think about it. By the way, these banner units, there's a thing in this game called draw priority. So the like main units, your branded warrior, your steelworker, the units that you get from those banners, you are guaranteed one of those in your first turn, to draw one of those in your first turn, which is partly why you don't want to take too many, because you want to reliably see the really good ones right away, as quickly as possible. In the second turn, you keep drawing. They keep having draw priority until you play them out, basically. Train stewards do not have draw priority. Fledgling imps and other kind of like what you can kind of call minor units don't have draw priority. So that's how that works. Let's see what upgrade we get to our prince. Brawler. So we can give him multi-strike. They can hit multiple times. And possibly gain multiple armor. Or on each hit, he gains more armor. I think we want our guy here to be tanky. When we have the second branded warrior, we'll have enough hits to do well at the end of the game. We'll have like 5 hits on the floor. 20, we can say. So I think we're just going to take it. You just make this guy beefier. That's generally my strategy. I think some of the other higher level players that I've seen have a different thought process. They think maybe Brawler is the only way, but I tend to use Hornbreaker Prince as a tank, whereas I don't usually see other people doing that. So that's just a personal preference and strategy thing. So we'll see how this works out. Okay. So we get this guy. This is generally not a very tough boss. Quick Guardians. I think we're pretty strong right now, so I think we can take this at the start of... We want this because we can put the spikes and immediately gain some armor on our Hornbreaker Prince. And get the 150 gold. It's pretty good. Okay. So, fantastic. Look at that. All these guys are going to die, even when I don't put the spikes. Look at that. It's going to get plus 30. So we really don't want to kill these guys. I'm a little worried about these guys here, but let's see. Oh wow, and I can fit the imp. That's fantastic. Get the collector, that's great. This is not going to be super valuable, so I'm going to throw that on. There's 4 spikes on him. These guys die. That's great. These guys die. What imps do we get here? Armor? Armor imp? Do you want that? Give me the rage. We can maybe use this later. Draw around to it. Yeah, like here. So I can do that. And then to avoid this Ember Drain, take him out. That's pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good here. I think we've got a strong mid-game base here. Might as well get these finished Awoken box. Doesn't really matter what we do because we're gonna crush this guy. Look at that. Absolutely tear him apart. Perfect. And we didn't lose any HP. I think we're doing pretty good. Branding right. Do we want to add this? This is a rare card, double the amount of rage. Branding right can be good, so you can deal 8 damage to somebody, and then they get 20 armor. So this is kind of like a flexible card. You can kill enemies with it if they're small, and you can. I can put this on my Hornbreaker Prince or my Branded Warrior, really, or my Steelworker for that matter, to basically trade some HP for some armor. You just gotta be careful not to kill them with it. You can gain it back with our restores. I don't know that it's, you know, the drawback is it's cost 2. It's a little bit costly. So I don't know that it's worth it. We're doing fine with all the armor we're gaining, and we're going to gain even more when we infuse that Steelworker. So I don't think we want that. This, if we find the Endless Imp, this will be helpful. Play the Imp over and over, make sure he dies over and over. You can double the amount of rage one time at some point. This has kind of a higher ceiling. We won't necessarily be able to play it all the time, but when it pays off, it'll pay off pretty big. Sometimes it's a dead card, which sucks, but I think it's good enough to have it in the deck. These, this is definitely, we don't want this. It's just too costly, doesn't do enough. This doesn't do enough. Draw 3 cards one time. I don't know, I don't think we got the Winged Steel, that's enough draw. We don't need a ton of draw in this deck, because our units are kind of doing all the work for us. We're not like playing a deck where the spells are doing a lot of work, in which case we want more draw, more energy, but I don't think we want this. I think we just skip. Alright, let's see what we see here. Our options are, we can go right, look for that Endless, remove some cards. What do we remove? Train Stewards. We remove Train Steward and probably a Restore. Can't remove Dead Weights, unfortunately. They're unpurgeable. Get a little money here. Or do we go left and look for spell upgrades? What spell upgrades would we want? Not a lot, really. We kind of don't care that much about our spells. This could have something good in it. It could have Minor Refraction. Minor Refractions would make a unit 1 space. But our unit that we want to be playing is already 1 space. There's other good things. But I don't think those things do more for us than what the Endless Imp would. So we're going to search for that. Take our money, see what we get. Another multi-strike. That doesn't help us, unfortunately. I would love to put another multi-strike on this, but he's way full up on upgrades. So, see, these slots here, these are the upgrade slots, and they only have 2. That's disappointing that we don't see Endless there. Let's reroll. We do see Endless. Huzzah. We get to play this over and over again. Fantastic. Let's purge some stuff. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. The reason we want these torches and not the restores is so that we can possibly kill our imp if we need to. So now we could make this cost less. I don't think that does enough for us right now. could upgrade a spell to make it cost less and then purge it from her deck. That upgrade is not very good. I think we want to do one of two things. We want to either make our endless fledgling imp give even more rage. That's one possibility. The other possibility is doing this infusion here, making the branded warrior give the 5 armor. Okay, we see the next infusion here. I think we can wait on the imp one because I think we're already doing fine even without the imp right now. So we can wait on that infusion. So we're going to take this. So now what this does is, so now we have a Ultra Slayer man here. And when do we get to dupe him? In 2 rings. So we dupe him here, and we'll probably dupe him again, actually, here. So that'll make our shards go up when we do that. So we really don't want to take any more shards, because that'll up our shard count. Anyway, so I better not take more upgrades into those different things. Purge. Let's keep purging restores. Actually, probably I could purge the second sharpen. That way that starts to fall off a little bit. Alright. Save some of our money in case we see something we want to buy later. I don't think we need this. I think that's maybe too scary. Makes the enemies harder to kill, and then we won't scale, and we could just get run over. We don't want that. So, no, I don't want to take it. Alright. These guys have stealth, which means they are basically, they will attack your guys. So it says not a target in combat for the next turn. So this guy's 2 stealth. That is a little scary, so we're going to put our guys up here where their stealth will wear off by then. So, alright, so we just do this. So that's not our endless one, but we still want to kill it. Do we want to ping him? Actually, probably not. Ping that guy. Alright, we see our endless hit. So you'll see this in action here. So next turn we'll draw him again. Look on this guy's scary. That was a mistake. Because I should have seen that one steal. That's okay. I think we're playing without it. Go in the front, so this guy dies. This guy will walk up and do 0, just get hit lots of times. Do we get any cool imps? We do. We get a armor imp. Oh, yuck. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. What happened there was this guy has harvest when something dies. It feeds armor to every unit on the floor. I need to remember not to do that. I rush into things sometimes. So we'll take 10 damage. We're punished for that. I think now is the time to double our range. So, yeah. Pull this guy forward. So this guy has 9 stealth. Holy shit. Right. Don't want that. Do I touch this floor? I don't know. I don't think I should. I think this is too risky here. Yeah, because Yeah, we don't do that. But do I want to put it here? Maybe. Yeah. Now we can put it there. I knew I did that for a reason. So this might apply this in the pass here. Oh, nope, we survived. Our Hornbreaker Prince has so much armor that he doesn't armor. We only need to hit him a few times because our guys have so much attack power. Okay, this battering ram deals a lot of damage, but it's very costly, and if we draw it on the wrong turn, it's just a dead card, which most of the time is what's going to happen. Branding right, we already talked about. I don't know about it. I'm down to take this. If we see holdover, could be good. Rooted, sometimes useful. This will give us those stain cards I was telling you about. I don't know. I think Rooted, the Ensnare, is pretty good. This will keep enemies on our floor if they don't die, and then we can hit them again. So I'll take it. And at 0 cost, and we draw an extra one next the turn after, which is helpful. Okay, do we look for spell upgrade, get a free artifact, remove 2, or do we curate an artifact? This is a shop that will have artifacts. Artifacts are expensive, is the thing. I don't know that. I mean, we'll have enough money to look and then reroll one time. We won't have enough to buy 2 artifacts, probably. There might be an event that might be helpful. I mean, the thing is, the only spell upgrade that I'm really interested in would be the Impressive to constantly kill our imp. But I don't think we even need that, actually, when I think about it, because the imp will probably die anyway. But this is a ton of value. Gain an artifact without spending money, and remove 2 without spending money. I think that's a lot of value. That's probably more value than we get over here, is my thinking. You know, this Concealed Cavern, sometimes it's something really good. So that would be the high roll. This is more the reasonable way. But the low rolls on this are really underwhelming and don't do a lot. Do we get another opportunity for this? I think well, we're not going this way later. We're definitely going this way, because we want to dupe that Branded Warrior. I think it's this. Double stack. Anything we want to double stack? Just doesn't do enough. -1. Not really. I don't know. Let's see. What artifact do we get here? Hey, merchant costs are. Good thing I didn't spend my money. Now all this stuff is cheaper. I still don't know if it's even worth it for these. Like I said, we're not really that interested in those. We more came here for the artifact, for these removals here. I think at this point, I'm going to start removing these. These restores just don't do a lot for us. We could reroll. I don't know. Let's see what's in here. Plus 10 piercing. If we see holdover on this becomes quite a good card. The plus 30 also makes it quite a good card. 33 damage to every enemy on the floor for 0. And it's more if you have a little bit of Ember. Could be good. I think we... Well, let's re-roll the shop. What do we get? Holdover. We do see it. Okay. So, this basically is endless for spells. So I think I am going to do this, because we may have trouble clearing the back line later. And this just becomes so valuable. Now, here's the question. Do I want piercing for it? Or do we want 30 for it? It's tough, because piercing makes it a little more reliable. This will help us clear the really scary backlines that are later in the game that do like 25 times 3 damage and crazy bullshit like that. So I think we take this. It's going to be so valuable. And let's see, do we want to go to 105 pack shards? Threat level's already pretty high. Do we get another opportunity to do it? Oh jeez, I said I was going to... Well... No, we definitely don't need to. We definitely don't need to. This may already kind of be a mistake. I don't know. I don't know. I think we're fine for now, but I'm a little worried about the enemies getting that much scarier. I think we're pretty strong though, so let's see. Let's try it. Alright, so this guy puts a bunch of crazy shit on the floor, so daze our guys on this floor. I don't think it matters too much. I think I'm just going to do this. So, see, they have dazed, but it'll wear off by the time these get here. So, these basically are not able to attack while they're dazed. So that'll run out. Imps will make more days on this floor, so we don't want that. 5 stealth. Let's hope that. We'll definitely get it by the time. This, when we incant, when we play a spell, makes other stuff not going to cost more, so it's bad. Bad news. I'm going to put this here so we see it again next turn, and then if we were to put this here, we don't want to incant that. And we do want it to die because we don't want it. This is the top 4. So here we'll do it. Why not? I keep forgetting fucking Wing Steel. It's good, but you have to be good. You have to be a good player to have this be good, and I just was not a good player this time. Alright, so here we can maybe see the value of this, but let's do this. And then they both die. Muted. I don't think, well, maybe play that again. Let's hit these guys. Gaining armor, or gaining rage each turn. I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing damn good. Here we can ping. And then this doesn't, this infinite thing doesn't happen. store. Oh, every fucking time. That's okay. Like I said, I think we're doing fine even without this imp, so I don't know. I might not even infuse. This is Arcus. Darkness Arcus. Added more spikes that makes him kill on first hit there. It's pretty good. What imps do you get? Oh, nice. Do that. Give our guy a little armor there. I think we can. Can we do this? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So now we enter Relentless. Oh, did we fall short? Holy shit. Really? Oh, man. Let's replay this combat. I think maybe it was a mistake to not keep playing that imp. Yeah. I'm going to replay this. Some people consider this cheating, but I'm doing this so that we can have some good content here, so that you can see the game. So that happens, boom. Okay, Wing Steel. We don't fucking play a third card. That's fucking up. So. Okay, can we kill this guy? I don't think so. That's alright. Well, we do that. And this costs 0. So we get another one. Alright, so now that makes our guy stronger. Hit there. And I think we want to not kill those guys with our event when they come up. So for example, I don't want to kill that guy. Root. Oh shit. God. That's not good, because now we're dazed because of this thing, because of that imp. I really need to not put that second imp on the floor. Damn it. Alright, well these guys will march up and hit once. That's probably not too terrible. That was an ouch. But I think we may be able to still get strong enough here. Yeah, we need to not let this imp go. So I'm really trying to min-max things here. Lucky enough, we may draw against that last step. Maybe. What imps do we get? Yeah. A third one? I guess. That on napkins and mediums, so it doesn't really matter. Ugh. suggest we just do the best we can with damage on him. Hopefully we're good enough here. I'm not sure. Do we get there? We do. Okay. Phew. Especially, let's just see what this looks like here. We could have doubled the rage, but I think there we just want more hits, really. We want that armor to be high. Alright, Transcendent, fantastic. Transcendent is a game-winning card. When played, repeat all summon effects triggered so far in this battle. So if we played our Fledgling Imp 10 times, he will give that 5 rage 10 times. If we can slap Endless on him, we are cruising. So we're going to click that. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? We're definitely going this way to Hellvent once and twice. So we want to be able to fit how many units on our floor? We're going to want to fit Fledgling Imp and Transcendent. I suppose we could just fit the one Transcendent and play the Fledgling Imp on a different floor. We could end up, if we see Endless for our Transcendent, we could slap Fledgling Imp on him, and then just the scaling is exponential, which would be fantastic. The problem is we really want this armor from the second Steelworker. So we're going to have, currently have 6 space, right? If we want to play mid-floor, we're going to have 5 space. I'm definitely duping at least one of these Steelworker infused branded warriors. I think it's space. I think we have to take space. Yeah. We just want too much stuff on the one floor to not take space. So I'm going to put this. So if you notice about the Transcendent, when we look at his unit essence, it gives something endless. So if we could possibly dupe the Transcendent and then make him endless for himself. So that's one possibility. But sometimes just playing the Transcendent one time is fantastic. So we don't see another steel shop because we wanted, so the steel shops don't line up with the dupes. So we won't naturally find endless on the Transcendent without the infusion. So I think we'll wait to decide on that and just take our second branded warrior now. See what's in here. Spell chain. I don't think so. Certainly not. We're already doing iron shards with these dupes. See, this will add 15 by itself. So we're taking that because it's had so much value. I'm just gonna get a ton of armor on the floor. Get rid of the restore. Get rid of. Let's get rid of this vent. It just doesn't do enough. I don't know. Maybe. Actually, maybe the torch. The other vent may provide some backline clearing later. Okay. You already did that, right? Yeah. See what our final upgrade is here. Could take Reaper, but that's a bad idea for the reasons I explained earlier. So we're going to click this, just make him beefy as we possibly can. Excuse me. Alright, 400 gold. At the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor. I think we can take this. This can be rough on this level because you get these exploding guys that can deal lots of damage to guys, but I think we are beefy enough. Our Hornbreaker Prince is beefy enough, and we'll have spikes. So that's going to give him enough armor to survive that, and then we get 400 gold. That's enough to buy possibly, certainly one artifact later. Yeah, there's so much value in that for not much of a drawback. So we do get these exploding guys here. I know Hornbreaker Prince doesn't care because he's got huge stats, and he's getting 50 armor from this. That's awesome. So nice, beautiful. Okay, can we grab the collector here? I think so, right? Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll hit him. We're gonna save a Transcendent for later, though. Ooh. If we pull this guy forward, he dies. That's great. Is it worth it to kill this guy? Probably not. I think we let this vent go for this round here. We don't need to hold it over. I think our Hornbreaker Prince is actually doing quite a bit of work for us. Do you want to ping this guy? I keep doing that. That's alright. I think we're okay. We're gonna get a big Transcendent later. Do we want a double rage? I think we want a double rage. Look how much rage we have here. It's just too valuable not to. Look at that. He's hitting for 500. And these guys are hitting for roughly 100 twice. We're slapping. We are slapping that shit. Okay. And we just play this out. Thinking a whole lot about it. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, we fucking destroy this boss, right? He barely swings on us. Inferno. Fantastic card. You just obliterate an entire floor of enemies. Costs a lot, but it does a lot. March of Shields. We can add a little armor, pull one of our units to the front. So we can make it. I think we always want our Hornbreaker Prince in front, right? So is that worth it? An entire card draw just to add 10 armor, which is, in the grand scheme of things, not that much. Nah, this just doesn't do it. Inflame is one of the worst cards in the game because it's, look at this, it's 2 energy for just 5 armor and 4 rage. We just get rage so easily. Fledgling Imp on his own only costs 1, gives 5 rage. This just is bad. It doesn't do enough without investing a bunch of upgrades, which is often not worth it. I recommend skipping this card almost every time. Sometimes you'll get it in your starter pack and you'll see some opportunity to use it well, but I would never on purpose pick this card. I can't think of a reason anyway. So we're going to take Inferno. This just does so much for us. Restoring Retreat, we can overstack a floor. Do we want to do that? Probably not. So, you know, we can have a full floor and then stick another unit and then have that one go down this end, force it into the floor. I don't think we want to do that because we want to be playing our imp over and over again if we can. I think we've seen these cards already, and that's explains why I don't want them in this deck. So we're not going to take any of these. We're just going to take our 10 gold, not junk up our deck. Continue the plan. So, okay, we have 7 space. Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. We have 7 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, we can take. We can do one of 2 things. We can take a 3rd Steelworker, which would be pretty damn good, because the defense scaling would be great. And of course, I mean, that's just adding more offense to our floor as well. The other option is duping our Transcendent, then infusing him, making him Endless, and just get a disgusting amount of rage. This could be overkill, although we may need that amount. You know, these later levels, these later rings get to be pretty tough, and the enemies get to be really tough. We may want this. The thing is, I mean, either way we're going this way, because we really want to dupe something. And if we can find holdover and -2 for Inferno, then we just crush everything every turn. So this is good. Let's see, we don't see holdover. You could reroll and possibly find it. Let's see. It's an interesting thing here. Alright, so we don't see the -2 anyway, so I don't think we want to hold over Inferno. What's in our trinket shop? Railhammer. Now, okay, this changes things, because grant +4 stacks of armor each time it's applied to a friendly unit. So this makes our Steelworker almost twice as effective in terms of giving armor. You also see Rage, Resonant Shard. Our Rage becomes better, adds +1 per stack. So for each stack of Rage, they'll get +3 instead of +2. We probably want both of these, and we have enough money. So considering that, I think that we do want the... man, it's hard. See, the Railhammer, I mean, we want both of these, no matter what. Conserve energy between turns. I think we're spending all of our energy every turn, so that doesn't do anything for us. So let's reroll. We don't want this because we want our imps to die. This gives a little more attack power to our Pyre, in case our enemies walk up. I don't think we're going to be leaking any damage, so... because I think we're probably killing all the enemies on the floor, so this just doesn't do enough. Friendly units gain +2 on Slay. That's a possibility. You know, if we have money left over, I may consider taking one of these. But it may just be that I just want to purge some stuff. This is tough, because really you could make an argument for for the Transcendent, or for the additional Steelworker. Man, that's tough, dude. I think the armor is really important. I think we're probably going to be getting enough rage from various sources. I think we just want the armor, right? I think so. Plus it's costs less shards than infusing here. Although, I mean, we could still do this infusion. Infuse Fledgling Imp onto our other Fledgling Imp. We wouldn't put on the Transcendent because he's not endless anymore. Could make this one endless as well, but no. Is that worth the extra 25 shards? Make the game a little harder to give us a little more power? Does that do enough? I don't know. I mean, we didn't take... Yeah, I think we need this rage, actually. We'll see how this works. The next boss we're about to face will fucking smack you down if you're not careful. This is just a tough boss. Okay, let's look at those artifacts again. Yeah, I think we just want to... Can we take this? I don't think this does enough. +2, I don't know. I don't think so. I think we're doing fine with our scaling, that we don't need that. I think we just remove some stuff. Remove vent. We're gonna come around to our other vent quickly enough. And remove torch. This is we've been able to make a pretty tight deck here. It's only 20 cards, nice and slim. So this is getting drawn every turn. This is, if we want, can be drawn every turn. This consumes, this consumes, this consumes. So really our deck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can see every card in our deck once we have our stuff played out. We can see every card in our deck like every 2 turns or so. 2 or 3 turns, which is great. We have very good consistency, even without too much draw, because we've slimmed our deck down so much. So, alright. Final boss. I didn't even look at the magic shop. I don't think we need it though. It's just not. There's not anything that'll do enough for us. Alright, so here's the thing. Every time we put a guy on the floor, this guy is going to get more damage. Every time we play a spell, he's going to get more damage. And he puts melee weakness on the front unit, which is like, it doubles the next hit that they take. So this guy's tough. So I'm just going to rely on my pings here to kill the units that he spawns each time. And we're going to play bottom floor. Look at this guy. This is what I was talking about. He does 45 damage. So we may even want to play middle floor, because our boy here may not even survive that first hit. So, I don't know, that's tough. That's tough. We could drop the second Steelworker, the third Steelworker, Brandy Warrior guy, and just put in the middle floor. We'll have one less space, one less guy, but... Although, no, he does survive this, right? Because, yeah. Ooh, we draw that. That's great, actually. Because now, let's see what... oh, that's nice. Consume card back. Ooh, we get our Open a Box back. Ooh, we get Fire Topper. This will bait him into sometimes going to this floor instead of this one, which is great for us. So I'm gonna keep these guys here. This guy, let's get rid of him. He's tough. We're a little more slowed up now, so we can maybe for it. Holy shit! What in the world do we do about this? Well, if we play... Ugh. See, he repeated all that stuff. We got all that. Let's see. Okay, we can maybe do this. We avoid some of these hits here. Our Inferno loses a little bit of value since we're in bottom 4 on this particular combat. That kind of sucks. But I think we're going to do okay if we can just... I think we need this 18 armor on him, right? He just needs to survive. We need this guy. At least for a while. Our Branded Warriors might might give us enough armor to where we will eventually not need him. For now, I think we need it. For that guy. You really want to see him missing. Alright. Get him here. We survive. Great news. I don't think I can clean this guy either. And we don't want to play Vent on this floor because we do want him to hit Cornbreaker Prince, die, and some armor. And I think we would have toast without that rail handler. Alright, we gotta get rid of this guy for sure. That looks a lot better. I guess we could have done that, huh? That's okay. I think I always want to keep this vent, just in case we get overwhelmed by those these crazy chicken men guys. I don't know what else to call. Ugh. We're likely to lose a Hornbreaker Prince here. What happens when we do this? Okay. Whew. We don't get the fledgling imp again. Got rid of that melee weakness before we got here, so that is great news. So I'm not going to touch this because I don't want to incant him into having more attack power and then maybe breaking through some threshold. So I see the red X, I'm just going to in turn. There's nothing else we need to do. Alright. Doing good here. Doing good. That was closer than it looked, perhaps, but we got through it. So now we get the last divinity. So you'll see kind of how difficult this fight is. So I'll show you kind of what it is. You get kind of like a mixture of enemies from all the different games. We'll even see all the different rings, and we'll even see some of the mini bosses come back. Makes it pretty tough. So each of these floors, so you'll see this guy's a floating boss, and he's on every floor. So on this floor, he'll sweep attack for 12 every turn. On this floor, he will do 10 times 2 to the front unit each turn. And this, you get 14 trample damage, which means that the damage, the leftover damage from hitting one guy carries over to the next. And this is something that my weakness is. I often don't have the foresight to remember to account for this. 12 sweep damage negates quite a bit of our armor here. I don't know if we scaled fast enough to feel confident in playing this bottom floor. Mid floor, we did all that work to get our extra steelworker guys, and then to just have to throw them away. I think we really want to play top floor. I think. This is a rough fight. This is always a rough fight. Well, not always, but much of the time. Alright, we see our fledgling imp, but we draw on the same turn as these guys. So I think we really need that armor. It's too important. And we'll draw around to this guy again. Alright, so this wave can sometimes be scary because usually you see them when they're not scaled up, but we have scaled quite a bit already. This is the scary wave. These guys, so if we don't kill this guy before he gets to our floor up here, all these guys are going to have spikes. This is the guy that causes them to have spikes. And then these guys, every time a unit dies, they'll both feed 10 armor to every unit. So that is sometimes rough, but I think we're okay. Well, first, let's see. Okay. We get another Transcendent. Great. I'll save these for later, and they will bust on some fools when it's a good idea to play them. So, great. This floor does fine. We're still gaining 15 armor, even with the 12 sweep damage. Our Railhammer is really putting some work in. Really, Railhammer, with this many of our Steelworkers, is nullifying that 12 damage. But okay, so let's break through this damage shield, or spell shield rather, and sweep kill these. So now that floor becomes a little less scary. See, here we see this boss again. He's going to give us curses, which sucks. Do we want to blow this already? Maybe. I think it's worth it. I think we're skilled up enough to where that makes sense. This one, are we going to do enough damage? Yeah, we're not. These guys, I hate these guys. Alright. This curse. First of all. Oh, we get that back, so we can play that later when we have the energy for it. There. These guys can sometimes be scary. We do have quite a... Well, we don't have that much armor. Let's kill these guys. Probably could have pulled this unit to the front, but our damage is great, so it doesn't matter that much. I think this is a W. I think so. This is the thing. This is why I like the idea of recording this, because if I'm explaining what I'm doing, it forces me to slow down a little bit and make better decisions with the game. This is another scary wave, this harvest wave. These dark winds do something similar. They add 15 damage. 15 armor to everything when something dies, so we don't like him. We don't like this guy either. This is the guy that gives everything multi-strike. Get rid of him. And we're just taking some curses, huh? A little bit. Eating it a little bit on the curses. More of that. Transcend him. I think we're gonna do it. We only have 2 waves remaining, which means I really need to make sure I'm playing this Transcendence. Look at all that rage. Holy shit. Get another Transcendent. I hope we can draw around to this one. We might really need that. I'm sure we will, actually. It just doesn't matter now. I think we're too far ahead to not win this at this point. Yeah, so we kill him pre-relentless. Our Hornbreaker Prince is dealing 870 damage. Yeah. This is a W. Just click on turn. And you slap him. Alright, good run. I think that was a pretty high scoring one too, probably. Not that I don't really pay that much attention to the score. But anyway, that was great. I think we really needed these 3 Steelworkers. If we had seen Endless for the Transcendent somehow, and could have put armor on him somehow, that would have been great. But we didn't. So we needed lots of armor to survive, keep our guys healthy. But we had some pretty good hits there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you see why I like the super strategic stuff that's going on with this game. I'm gonna maybe make more of these with the different clan combos. Show you my thought process on that, and yeah. See you the next one, and thanks for watching.